within your mediumship, the spirit world will use what you naturally gravitate towards. So I've told you the story of Albert Best, the Irish medium, lived in Britain, who was able to stand up on the platform and give people spot on addresses. Every spirit communicator he had, he was able to say, oh, I have so and so here, and he lived at, and give the exact address. Right? Because how on earth does he do that? Well, he did it because he spent his whole life as a postman. Right? So those pathways are laid. So it's really easy then for the spirit world to give him an address because his brain is already primed to receive them. Right? So what we want to do within the story is to lay the neural pathways, to prime our mind, our understanding, to recognize and receive story without having to think about it. You will naturally just be receiving it because the pathways are laid there to receive it, like the address. The path least resistance is for the spirit world to use what you know, to use what naturally flows within you. That's what we want to build. Probably all heard that. Feel into it. See what more is there. Well, if you're feeling into it to get what more is there, it's like you clearly don't have a pathway laid to receive it. So now you're trying to feel into it more. Chances are you're going to end up in your head, or you're going to start asking them questions. Black shoes, why are you showing me black shoes? Well, the minute you start down that road, you're in your head. You're trying to have a conversation. Instead of just understanding, oh, these are the shoes he was wearing in his coffin. Or these are the first pair of shoes he was wearing when he took your mother dancing. You know, you'll get that sense of it because you're already there primed and surrendered to receiving the story. Why are you this? Why are you that? It's not okay at this level, right? So how do we receive this information? We go through our day, all day, every day, listening for story, recognizing story, understanding story, being aware of all of the conversations that we're having to see within all of those conversations how the story is unfolding. So the work is done here. The work is done with your neighbors, with your family, with your relatives, with your boss, with everybody. Right? You do that work all the time, every day. You start to think in this way. You're going to be recognizing story out in the street everywhere you go. Every conversation you have, you're going to be aware of all of the stuff that's being shared. 70% of our communication is nonverbal, right? You become very, very, very attuned to the story that is connecting everything in your life. And when you get to a point where you're recognizing all of that in the physical world without even having to think about it, I guarantee you it is going to flow from the spirit world.